Could you imagine? I'm such a drug addict. I started.
You start smoking creatine in a pipe.
Were you hitting fucking delts or what, pussy?
Can you snort creatine for the same effect?
You can snort anything, but if you're willing to deal with the pain.
Yeah, you can.
Two Jews, both big and tall, no subject too small for the good guys. A Mother's Dream premium podcast team, make it your weekly routine. It's a Good Guys. And if you don't give us 5 stars, what are you nuts? What are you nuts? Yeah, we're the good guys, we're not the great guys. We're just so good guys. Whoa.
This episode is sponsored by Samsung. Make sure to get your Galaxy S25 Ultra at Samsung.com. Benjamin, how are you?
I'm splendid, Joshua. How are you?
I'm better now. I don't know what was wrong before, but I'm better now.
Tell me, what's on your mind?
Nothing.
What's eating
I'm
away
good.
at you? What's keeping you up at night? What's giving you the night shivers?
I don't know. I mean, I might up my antidepressants, but other than that, everything's fine.
I've been, speaking of taking pills, I've gone off of magnesium completely, and Josh, I have stopped taking creatine. I have.
Why? You were bloating.
No, it's not that. I just wasn't going to the gym, and Claudia would look at me, and she's like, what the fuck are you taking creatine for if you're not going to the gym? And I'm like, the mental benefits. And she's like, you can't take creatine if you're not going to go to the gym. So what I said to her was, that's fair. I will take creatine when I plan on actually going to the gym, and hopefully I can get into a nice rhythm and then just be taking creatine. But I took creatine like 5 straight days, and I didn't go to the gym. Like, I don't know. She didn't like it. What do you think? Like,
what does she care?
She cares. She's worried. She thinks it's going to kill me.
Oh, my God. What about... Wow.
Yeah.
It's an interesting line to take. The creatine was the thing that she was like, I'm putting my foot down. The Cipriani cake in bed, it's fine. But the creatine is a no.
It's funny. She wasn't putting her foot down, but she said it enough times. I was like, all right. Clearly, you seem to be uncomfortable. I think she just doesn't like the way that it looks. I think that she just, like, she sees a white powder. She thinks I'm doing drugs. I'm not going to lie, though. I felt worse today. I felt worse. I like the feeling of creatine. It makes you feel, like, big and alive. I'm going to take it again tomorrow.
It's highly, highly researched. If it was almost anything else, I'd be like, well, yeah, you never know. But it's pretty darn researched. And other than the bloating, I'm not sure of a lot of negative effects. I
didn't see bloating, and maybe that's because I'm always bloated. Like, when am I not bloated?
Title, resting bloated.
I'm always bloated. So, like, what, maybe creatine made me not bloated. Like, I'm so bloated that the creatine was an anti-bloat.
Is it bad that Claudia cares too much and that my wife doesn't give a fuck? Like, I could be smoking creatine and she'd be like, did you take out the trash? Could you imagine? I'm such a drug addict. I started.
You start smoking creatine in a pipe
outside of a Bally's. Were you hitting fucking delts or what, pussy?
Can you snort creatine for the same effect?
You can snort anything, but if you're willing to deal with the pain.
Yeah, you can. I love it.
I mean, not to get too druggy. Great. I can't wait for this episode to get flagged on YouTube. But the thing that you don't realize is because, when people do the gucks, the devil's dandruff, the cocaine, there's cane in it, right? The cane part of it is lidocaine, novocaine. It has a numbing agent. It's used in medical procedures for like ear, nose, and throat surgery because it is a localized numbing agent. God. And if you were to snort other drugs that do not have the cane aspect, it's so much more painful because there's no numbing to it.
That's why, so I've heard, your nose goes a little numb because of the cane.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I've read online.
Yes.
That's what I've read. And the coke part, what is that?
It's coca leaves.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
And a fun fact is, I believe this is true, that Coca-Cola, I think I read this, that they actually make because in the process of refining the cocoa out of the coca leaves, there is a byproduct of the ability in which to make cocaine, which was what people talked about hundreds of years ago. So they actually have a very small medical subsidiary that makes medical grade cocaine for surgeries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
They're like, we can't waste this. And then the CEO of Coke's like, let me try. No, I'm kidding. Could you imagine medical grade? Yikes.
No, that'll knock you off your feet. Or put you on your feet. Send you straight to Boogie Town.
Yeah, the booger sugar. At this point in my life, it is so darn scary to do anything like that I like my heart skips a beat talking about it.
So then let's not.
No, we can't. No, I'm fine. But
I don't want you to skip a beat.
Doesn't it scare you? I mean, I know you only stopped doing it 3 months ago, but like, doesn't it scare you?
It's been years. Thank you very much. And yeah, it's horrifying. Honestly, the second that people started dying,
Sure.
it was like, okay, not fun, not that fun. And to watch people still do it after people were dying, it's like, oh, you don't care that much about your life. Like, and these weren't drug addicts. These were just people that, like, I guess maybe they were addicted if they couldn't, or they didn't want to stop. But the second that you found out that people were dying of fentanyl, like, that to me it's no longer fun. Like, imagine if, again, Coca-Cola or any kind of soft drink, you knew that there was a chance that upon the second that you drink it, you're dead. Like, it's a fact.
Yeah.
You're not going to drink it anymore. Because it's not worth it, right? Like, so yeah, definitely scary. It's a bug out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think like back in my day, like people would always cite Len Bias, who was a star basketball player who tried something once and he died. And I don't know what it is. I think it's the fact that, like, in most people, until you're 25, not in most people, this is all people, your prefrontal cortex isn't fully formed. So your ability in which to compute risk is not as well formed as it is once you get in your late 20s and 30s. This is why we send young men to war, right? It's true, because they're just like,
funny, but yes.
Let's get after it, you know? Like, they don't understand, like, the true implications of these things. So, I don't know. I think no matter what, just kids will always be dumb.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but be dumb and have fun, but find less scary ways to be dumb. I don't know.
What's your tactic with your beautiful child to be, Baruch Hashem, with that kind of stuff? Like, have you even started thinking about it?
No, because it's crazy to think that, like, at some point he will be big enough to, like, do those things. But, like, I don't know. I think you just got to parent to the best of your ability and raise a good kid and teach them right from wrong. And I hope, like, my number one thing is that I have instilled enough trust and not too much fear to the point that he could come to me to ask me anything. Like, I feel like I will have failed if you can't come to me and ask me anything. Like, I'm a judgment-free zone. Come to me, and then I will tell you why it's wrong. But I always hated that. Like, I have that relationship with my parents. Feel very lucky in that. Like, that if I went to them, I feel like I could ask them anything. Would I be embarrassed asking them? Sure. But, like, I could have my whole life asked them anything. And I feel like when you don't have that relationship and you don't have the ability to have that conversation with your parent or parents, that's when things sort of go awry. Like when you can't gut check, like, oh, is this a bad idea? Oh, I did this. What do I do? And then it, like, compounds your problem. So long-winded answer, but, like, I just want to build trust. What do you think?
It's a really hard thing. I think it's 90% of it is in your parenting throughout every situation before they come to that crossroads, right? You set them up as a person.
Totally.
You model through behavior. I agree. Like, I don't think you can overly scare someone out of it. I think my big thing too is like they've seen now in studies, like smoking weed even, which I would imagine is pretty benign and I actually think is medicinal in some cases, before you're 25, again, as your prefrontal cortex is sort of developing and finalizing, marijuana really inhibits a lot of sort of that fine finishing that's required. Like there's major implications of doing drugs before you're 25 where you will actually hurt yourself in the long run. Whereas if you were like, I'm going to dabble, but at 28, it's just going to have much less deleterious effects than doing it at 16, 17, 18, 19 when people start to do it.
Yeah,
I would make that clear.
Yeah.
But I also, I really do believe in this. Like, you can't be overly scary to your kids, and you certainly don't want to like put them in a state of fear. You want them to feel they can come to you with anything. But your kids need to know when they're teenagers that you can sufficiently fuck up their lives if they fuck around.
Yeah.
And there are too many parents who forego discipline because it would be an inconvenience to their life to take their kid's car away. Because it's like, well, yeah, but then I got to drive him to school. It's like, yeah, like you're now going to get dropped off at 17, like by your parent because you fucked up. And like,
Yeah.
you're going to have to figure out like how to get in touch with me other than a phone because you're not going to have that. Or you're not, or they'll be like, well, I can't take the internet away. Like, how are they going to do their homework? I'm like, I don't know. But like, I'm a big believer in if your kid fucks up, like inconveniencing them majorly because you're the parent so that they learn.
Of course. Otherwise, they're never going to learn. I'm sure you grew up with this type of parent or your friends, like you grew up with this kid who had this type of parent, which is like, I don't care what you do as long as you do it in my house.
Hate
to me, that is fucking insane.
Total.
Like, are you crazy? Like, no, I don't want you smoking weed in my house. Like, at least, like, the whole point of, in my opinion, like, adolescent experimentation is like you feel like, ooh, it's a bad thing. I'm trying it once. I drank at a party. You know what I mean? If you can drink at home, that's you're raising an alcoholic. Like, you can only have drinks if it's with me every night.
Totally.
At dinner. You can only smoke in your room and I'll buy you the pound. Just want to make sure I can
Yeah.
see you. It's like, are you stupid? Like,
Don't drink malt liquor. Have a Cosmo with mom.
Yeah, don't go to parties. I want to watch you party. I'm a cool mom. Like, no, you won't be having parties at my house with alcohol and drugs. You will have.
I'm not putting my
you'll have a
umbrella
pizza-
policy
You'll have a
in
pizza party.
danger.
We'll watch a movie. You want to rent Terminator, which gave me nightmares when I was 8? Sure, we can have a movie party. No
Yeah.
drugs and alcohol in my house. What are you, nuts?
All Amazon Prime board games. We can cook. You can. I want to, and to my in-laws' credit, they had the house where everyone came to eat. And that's huge. Like,
Huge,
if you
huge.
know, my mom always talked about this. My great Aunt Beatty, growing up, my mom's Aunt Beatty, she had, and this is like in the 50s and 60s, but my mom said she would have the cake at a diner on a cake plate with a cover. And you just know every 3 days that cake was re-upped. There was a new cake. So you went over to Aunt Beatty's, and at any time of day, you lift the cover, you take a slice.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh my God.
Shout out Aunt Beatty.
Cake with a cover. What's better than that? It's so moist.
Yes.
It's so good. It's so good.
I'm telling you, man, there's just so many things that you can do. Olivia, are you going to have the drug house with your... No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I don't plan on having the drug house. My mom was very like, she tried not to make things taboo for me, but not in like a way that was like, go and do it, you know what I mean? But it wasn't like if I ever did anything, she was like, you need to call me if you ever drink at a party or anything, and I want you to know that you can do that. Not that you can like, you know, go get drunk or whatever you want, but like if you're going to like do it in a safe way and like let me know. And I didn't end up like drinking or doing anything till I was like a senior in high school, so nerd.
I love it. No.
That's what my mom was so... That's not my mom. My mom was so nuts with cigarettes in particular because her dad died of cancer when she was 13 from smoking tons of cigarettes. And so she was just her number one thing was no cigarettes, no cigarettes, no cigarettes. And I would always ask, I remember, have you ever smoked a cigarette? Never smoked a cigarette. And I remember me and my sister were going through, my parents have an unbelievable amount of photo albums. We were going through an album and my mom was there with a nice cigarette.
Fucking chiefing a Winston.
I'll never forget it. It was so good.
Yeah.
And that, like, plus, like, as you get older, your parents, maybe they start to let their guard down a little. My parents never cursed when I was younger. So all of a sudden, the cursing's coming out. They wouldn't really drink in front of me. All of a sudden, the drinking's coming. And it's just funny, like, when they start to turn into real people and you realize, oh, I'm my parents. Like, I'm going to be my parents.
Right.
I'm going to have kids. And, like, it is, in my opinion, so important to shelter kids to the best of your ability. Like, having a drink every single night at dinner, if you're going to do that yourself, that's fine. But doing it in front of your kids makes them think that they should be drinking alcohol with every meal, or they should be smoking all the time, or they should be, like, sheltering them is important, in my opinion.
Yeah, dude. I remember growing up, there was this kid, Bill, in my neighborhood. And when I hung out with Bill, I realized I was sheltered. Because Bill...
Yeah.
Bill didn't have a dad. Surprise! And Bill and his mom, they managed like a storage facility. And so they had a house connected to the storage facility. And the way to get into Bill's house was you had to go through the window in his room. And like Bill was 15 and we were like ripping Coors Lights, smoking cigs, and mom was cool with it. And I was like, I don't know if things are going to work out for you, Bill.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, who names their kid Bill in the mid-2000s? Bill, man.
Yeah, it's
Good
funny.
kid.
You had Bill. I had a kid named Phil.
Come on, you had a kid named Mish.
No, it was Phil. It's where I saw my first pornography video. It's always the ILs.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
and the kids whose parents just don't care, and it's not cool not to care. It's just because it's happening in your house doesn't mean it's not happening. You'd rather them be scared. They got to be scared. These things are scary.
My wife always talks about, she's like, I was always worried about letting my parents down. She was like, it was less scared because I don't think her parents are like the yelling, grounding type, but they're like a very high worth individuals. Like they carry themselves in a way and they expect that from their kids. And my wife, who talks about how her and a bunch of her girlfriends were considering sneaking, booze into the prom. And at last minute, she chickened out. And because she knew that her dad was a football coach with the school and the whole thing. So he was like connected to the school. But she was like, just the idea of like my dad finding out that I was one of the girls who was getting sauced at the prom. And she's like, and those girls got suspended. I think a few of them got like kicked out of school because they all got caught except her.
Wow.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
disappointment. Having a parent tell you, I'm disappointed in you, really hurts. It's like a knife to the heart. And if it doesn't hurt, then you got problems. But it hurts.
Ugh.
It hurts.
Tell
Being
me
judged.
about it.
What's better than a French fry, Josh? The only thing better than a French fry is
I'm
the
listening.
Galaxy S25 Ultra.
I'm so glad you brought it up.
Samsung, Josh. The only thing better than a French fry. Because, Josh, this is a true AI companion. We got these phones. These phones are it, folks. Out with the old, in with the new.
I have to say, for me, sort of the marquee thing that I'm most into about this phone is that it has a 200 megapixel camera, which is absurd, but it also has a 50 megapixel ultra wide lens. So whatever I'm shooting, whether it's a social media video, whether it's just something for my family, like I'm actually getting the best version of it. And I can say this totally honestly, it's the best camera in a phone I've ever seen by far.
You don't need anything more. And the best part, Josh, is that whether you're making a video for social media, something for your family, I'm cooking up a storm.
Yes.
What always happens, Josh? What's inevitable? Sometimes there are people chattering around you. Sometimes there's that extra noise and you don't know how to get rid of it. So you refilm, right, Josh? If there's somebody talking,
Horrible.
if Romeo is barking, you got to refilm. You're like, Romeo, what are you, nuts? Can you shut up for 1 minute? I'm trying to cook, okay? I'm trying to cook. But folks, what's amazing about this amazing Galaxy device is that there's an audio eraser with Galaxy AI that reduces all of that noise. So regardless, Josh, of what you're doing, you don't even have to block out the noise because Galaxy AI does it for you. How easy is that?
It's easy, I know. And no, it's true. Like, AI is incredible. And I know of some pretty famous filmmakers that I've worked with, no big deal, who use similar features like this that allow them just a freedom when you're dealing with different audio. And I have found, and until the S25 Ultra, like, it took a long time because the cameras were always getting good on phones, but the audio sucked. And that was like always the distinguishing factor. But now with this AI feature, you can clean up the audio. You can reduce sort of the outside noise, any sort of weird. It's great. What else I love is whether I need to like get recipes or I want to get like the stats for my favorite sports team. You know me. All man Josh over here. I like sports.
Joshy Sport.
Yes. But I love that I can do that. I can also just get directions to whatever I need to get directions to. But it's all done in AI, so it's sort of like an upgraded way that a phone can react to the things in which I need and also anticipate what I'm going to need. And in the spirit of AI, it can handle multiple tasks in just one ask, which is the whole idea behind AI. To anticipate my needs, Paige. I mean, my Ultra Samsung, not my wife. This isn't the time, me.
It's the future, folks. It's the future. It is what it is. It is what it is. And the Samsung Galaxy makes it that easy.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm a bit of a stylus king, and I just think that having this cutie babe stylus is fun. It's just, first of all, you don't notice it. But when you want to do like something exact for doing sort of those more fine things that you need to do, because you have like butcher's hands like mine, like fat diabetic hands that like, I'm like, boom, stylus comes in.
Stylus. And so, Josh, I just have one question for you. Are you ready to let AI do more for you so you can do you? Then get your Galaxy S25 Ultra now at Samsung.com. Certain features compatible with select apps and require Google Gemini account. Results may vary on input. Check responses for accuracy. Audio eraser is compatible with common video formats. Accessible in gallery. Helps minimize 6 select sounds. Results vary. Galaxy AI features from Samsung free through 2025 and requires Samsung account login.
Wait, you're saying I can get a Galaxy S25 Ultra from Samsung.com?
From Samsung.com.
Oh, wait, I already have it.
Same.
Should we get to some stories?
Yeah, we're so deep. What an intro.
Yeah, man, it's cool. Oh, this is a fun game. So I found this thing, right, called Celebrity Talent International. And I submitted my resume. And basically it's like a list of what performers, speakers, artists, actors get to appear at an event. So
okay. Love it.
It like actually connects you with the performer and gives you an idea of what their rate would be. So first off, talent library. First, I found musical acts. Should we start with Darius Rucker?
Wow. Wow.
Let's see how much Darius is getting.
Are me and Olivia guessing?
Okay, Darius is too famous and he refuses to show his fee. Let's try the great magicians, Penn and Teller. Okay, do you know Penn and Teller?
Olivia, you answer first.
I'm gonna say to appear in an event because it's a little past. Maybe if this is crazy, 5K.
Okay.
Oh no, I was asking if you knew who Penn and Teller was, so I didn't have to admit it. I have no idea who that is.
You don't know who it is?
See, I knew it. I knew it.
Okay. We'll move on from that. By the way, it's between $75,000 and $150,000. $5K. Ouch. Yikes. Okay. This is a good one. For Whitney Cummings to appear at your event, to perform at your event, maybe it's a dentist convention, maybe it's a trade show. How much would her fee be for 1 hour of Cummings comedy?
1 hour of Whitney Cummings comedy. $20K.
Olivia?
I'm clearly terribly off with these. $100K.
Pretty good. Minimum fee range $40,000 to $75,000.
Okay. I'm not paying $75,000. Sorry, Whitney. But
what about the great? Let's see here. Ooh. It
fun.
seems. I think the really famous ones, like Kevin Hart, Chris Rock, they don't list it.
Millions.
It's got to be millions, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
Okay. Nice.
Or nothing, by the way, or just a favor. Nothing or millions.
This is a nice one. It's Ben's vape dealer, Whoopi Goldberg. How much do you think she's getting to perform at a party? I love Whoopi. There's no one better than Whoopi.
And Whoopi's she's doing like
comedy,
stand up. Yeah, it's stand up.
Don't you fucking lowball Whoopi, Ben? Don't you
I think
Whoopi on my pod?
I think Whoopi is $250,000.
Olivia?
150,000.
You're both right. 150 to 300,000.
I would pay Whoopi 300. 150 seems too cheap.
By the way, worth it.
Worth it. Oh my God.
Worth it just for a meet and greet.
For the pictures alone.
Fabulous. What about okay, so we did Whoopi. What about ooh. This is hopefully soon to be guest. We love her. She's the greatest. We love her. What she does for the Jews, what she does for comedy. Amy Schumer, shout out. How much is she getting to perform?
Whatever it is, it's too little.
I agree.
$500,000.
Olivia?
550 grand.
300 to 500,000.
Okay, good.
Not
Good
bad.
No,
What about
$500,000 is good. Just don't charge us that to be on our podcast for 1 hour.
No, please, we can't afford it. Okay, what else should we do? Music acts we did. Hootie's not giving it up. What about, let's see, who do you want to hear? Jewel, the Pentatonics, Fleetwood Mac?
Pentatonics, 150.
They got to
No, it's a bunch of them. 250.
They got to split that 5 ways.
Yeah, 250.
You have to contact them. They won't say.
Oh wow, so it's more.
It's up.
The Pentatonics are amazing.
Pentatonics at an event, that's nice.
Nice. Oh, it's gorgeous. You talk about you're throwing a Christmas party and they sing Silent Night. It's over. You won.
Are you kidding me? Pentatonics in the Rudy Giuliani ballroom at the Marriott?
It's over, Josh.
Yeah. Spike my eggnog, why don't you?
You put them at Rosen Shingle, it's over.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, the Jabberwockies. Hell yeah. My friend was a Jabberwocky. Shout out Dunock.
$100,000?
$1 million.
40 to 75K. That's
honestly
nice.
pretty good deal. Like it's definitely for $40K to say you have the Jabberwockies.
Totally.
Pretty cool.
Here. What about sports figures? Ben is Butch. He'll want to hear this. Okay.
Yeah, let me.
I can't imagine any of these people list a fee. Ooh. Jeets, the shortstop of the New York Yankees, Derek Jeter. Jeets, baby.
Probably. Oh, by the way, you're the only person to ever call him Jeets. I think. I was like, who the fuck is Jeets? $1 million? Why is
Olivia?
he getting out of bed for less?
750,000.
150 to 300.
Really?
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Jeter, that's brand degrading. Take that off.
I know. What about the flying tomato himself, Shaun White?
Oh, Shaun White. What's interesting about Shaun White is, I guess he had made a lot of money through endorsements, but he really, like, his big thing was only twice a year. And you don't really get paid for his big thing. I'm just trying to compute, Josh, how much money he really has. Jeter has so much freaking money. Why is he doing 150? I guess 150 an hour, it's a pretty good rate. But Shaun White, if Jeter was 150 to 300, 200?
40 to 75,000.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Are you kidding me? We did it for way less at the Rosen Shingle.
Sean.
You know what a layup it is.
He's Sean. He's Shaun White. He's Olympian. He's a legend.
I know, but listen.
You know what? You're right, honestly. We did it at Rosen Shingle for less.
I know. What were we thinking?
Honestly, we should put it's good clout, Josh. We should sign up for this site minimum $750. See if somebody pays it.
Yes. We should be $250,000 each or $400 as a pair. We give a deal.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
Yeah. I love that too. Don't I love it too?
$475. I think it's too steep of a deal. We'll knock 25 off the top. Okay, and we'll end with this. The great Shaquille O'Neal, owner of Papa John's. What are we thinking? He does so much.
He does so much.
Like, I think that he's not going to price himself out because he wants that money. $100,000.
250 grand.
$250,000 to $500,000.
And you know he's doing 20 of those a year.
So smart.
So smart. Oh, what a legend. Shaq. The big diesel.
Good evening, real estate agents of Southern California. Good evening, oral hygienists of Central Florida. Oh, man.
Oh, he's so cool.
I mean, it's just so easy to make money when you're that famous.
I know. And there are only a couple of people that can put their name on everything and it still means something. It's him, Snoop, and Martha. I don't know anybody else. And The Rock. That's the fourth.
Yeah.
Where they can just put their name on anything. Otherwise, most people, you put your name on too much stuff, it no longer means anything. You're done. Shaq can put his name on anything.
So true. What about we don't talk sports a lot, but a massive major trade in the NBA happened last week.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic, the is that right? Doncic?
Doncic.
It's
fine. It's the same thing.
Luka, who was the centerpiece of the Dallas Mavericks, I mean, literally a young kid, 25 years old, had already brought them a championship. In theory, should have retired in Dallas, was somehow traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. This never happens. The idea of it is like, the Bulls trading Jordan, really. And what do we think about it, Ben? You know sports.
It's really crazy. It's really, really crazy. Mark Cuban said when he was still the owner of the Mavericks, there's a famous quote that he would trade his wife before he traded Luka. like Luka was it. He's like a once in a generation, unbelievable, been a professional, from age 13 to 19 and then came to the NBA. He's been a pro forever. He's so good. I have no idea what happened. No idea. They traded him, I guess because they thought they had conditioning issues. They didn't want to pay him so much money, whatever it may be. For Anthony Davis, who is a very injury-prone guy. He's very good, but he's very injury-prone. And I don't know if you remember, it's probably at least 15 years ago, there was a deal on the table. Kobe Bryant for Chris Paul. There was a deal. And David Stern, who was the commissioner of the NBA, vetoed it. He said, this trade is not fair, and it's not happening. And if he was still here, I think he would have vetoed it. He's dead, so it went through. But to me, this was...
You're talking about David Stern, just for clarity.
Yeah. Sorry, David Stern.
Yeah.
Kobe, too.
But
David,
yes.
but David Stern. And, yeah, it just... crazy.
It's... So for us laymen out there, because I think this can be interesting. So basically, he was on a contract renegotiation, and at this point, Dallas would have had to pay him hundreds upon hundreds of millions to, in theory, sign him for the next, 6 years, 10 years?
6 years. Yeah, and when you are a player of that caliber, you're eligible for what's called a supermax, and so it's like an extra $150 million when you're like the centerpiece of a team. So they had to really pay him, but you're not going to find anybody better ever.
Ever.
Like, they'll never, ever, ever in the history of the Dallas Mavericks have a player better than Luka.
I watched his debut last night for the Lakers, and I was sort of like on my computer and half watching, half on my computer, and all I hear go, well, that's the end of the first half. The Lakers are up 38 points. I was like, oh my God.
Luka and LeBron are so similar. Like, the way that they play is so similar. They're both these, like, 6'8", can pass, can shoot, can rebound. Like, it's just nuts. It's nuts. God, so jealous. I went to the Knicks-Celtics game the other night. They got blown out. Like, the Knicks got just screwed. Nothing worse than going to a losing home game.
Does that hurt? Are you, like, really affected when they lose?
I'm only really affected when I buy tickets. Like, if I get seats for free and they lose, whatever.
Right.
But spending money to watch somebody lose really stinks. Like, you're going to watch them win. So, yeah. No, you're stung for like a second. It more stung that I walked outside. I drove, of course, Josh, because I'm driving everywhere. I drove. It's a snowstorm. So I had to park a block away.
Where did you park near the garden? In a lot.
I've parked outside of the garden illegally and not gotten a ticket twice.
You're nuts.
Twice, no ticket.
Oh
I parked on 31st and 6th. I got back, no ticket. But because I drove, I normally don't bring a jacket. Who wants to lug a puffer into the garden? So I didn't bring a jacket, but I parked over a block away, and it was a snowstorm. I got in, I was freezing.
Oh, my God. What's the weather like? We're about to go to the snow on Thursday, and it's going to be chilly.
Tonight's supposed to be a monster snowstorm, so I could pop out of here, and it could be snowing like crazy. That said, this podcast studio, I must just say, Josh, I'm drinking herbal tea.
Unreal.
I get fresh herbal tea, so I'm going to be warm. I'm going to pop out. I won't even feel the snow.
Are we, now tell me, are we never allowed to film in the Toast Studio again now that it's been redesigned?
No, my area hasn't been redesigned yet. So we're setting up so that when you come to New York, we can still have 2 seats. But the way that the Toast is now set up, it's just one singular frame. So we're setting up a good guys area that will cater to me, or if Claudia and Jackie want to do something. So it's still I'm waiting on wallpaper. And then we're locked and loaded. It'll be gorgeous.
Can I share a gripe, a grievance, some might say?
Please.
If I know you, we don't know each other well, but if we know each other, fellow celebrities, and you tell me,
about me?
What?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah. Celebrities of our caliber and a little above us.
Yes.
And you tell me you want to come on the podcast, and I go, great, shoot me an email, or let's connect. When and where, babe?
I can't believe we didn't even talk about this.
And they go,
I saw the email.
Let me connect you with my publicist.
Mm-hmm.
Just say no. Mm-hmm. Don't have your muscle tell me no. Mm-hmm. Don't say you want to do it. It's like my whole thing with like how people Facetune and filter photos on social media. I want to say to them, you know I'm going to see you one day, right? You know I'm going to notice you don't actually look like that. It's like, I'm going to see you again. You told me yes. Your publicist the next day was like, we're not currently taking any interviews. I'm like, dog, this kills me. Just say not right now.
And Josh, what did I say to you? The morons will never know who this person is.
Yes.
Ever.
But we've
You'll
talked
never
about
know.
them twice and had to censor them twice.
Yes, but you'll never know. What did I say to you, though, when you said that this person would come on the show?
What did you say, Ben?
I said to you, I can't stand this person, but they'd be a great guest.
Right.
So it would have been nice. That said, it's no skin off our backs. We can go back to having nothing to do with this person. Muting them on all platforms. I am out. Okay? Dead to me. Dead.
Totally.
Dead to me. I couldn't believe it when I read it. Josh wrote the nicest email from Josh. Hi, it's Josh Peck. I have a podcast called The Good Guys with my co-host, celebrity chef Ben Soffer. We heard that this person would be interested in potentially coming on the show. Can you please send available dates? Thank you so much. Hugs and kisses, Josh. And they wrote back, sorry, Charlie. They're out of commission. Not gonna happen. Like, what? Are you nuts?
And you know what? I got to give a lot of credit. And I always say this. We record in LA or New York. It will take an hour maximum. Whatever is best for your client.
We're so easy. We're easy.
Easy peasy. You like herbal tea? We have this.
No. By the way, nobody has herbal tea. This place has herbal tea. This world class. Podstream, shout out.
God bless Podstream. But I will give a shout out and recognition, and I will name them by name. The great Victoria Justice. We did a speaking gig together a year and a half ago. And I said, love for you to do the pod. And she said, great, let's talk about it. And I will text her twice a year and say, hey, just mentioning the pod. And she will be so lovely and say, now's not the right time. I'm either working or I don't have anything to promote I want to talk about yet. But when I do, we'll do it. And I go, say less, Victoria. Thank you for letting me know. So classy, so lovely. That's it. Just be a person.
Two things. One, I would love to have Victoria Justice on the show.
Same.
Two, oh wait, I lost my train of thought. What did you say? Say it again.
Victoria Justice.
What about Victoria?
Justice,
what about Victoria?
the Department
I
of
love her.
Justice.
I love
Justice
her. She's
Department.
Want to have her on? It's great.
There was a TV show called Justice.
Yeah, the
Justified.
Justice League. Victoria Justice. She's great. She's fun.
She
She's
is
hip.
great. She
She's
is fun.
cool.
She's
Victoria. All right, maybe it'll come back. It's gone.
What
Lost
can you
forever.
do? Neurologist.
Lost forever, just like my love for that person that almost came on the podcast. Lost forever.
Ashunda, Ben, and I've gotten many of those that I've kept you off email from, where I'm like, dude, what the heck? I'm gonna.
No,
Can I say some names and you bleep them?
I'll bleep them.
Okay.
What?
Yes.
Friendly.
I
Did you tell him that we went ab to ab, belly button to belly button in the pool in Mexico, and he still said no?
Pub effed me. That publicist gave me a big hard no, and he was in. He was in.
Oh, I remember. It's the publicist, Josh. Okay, Victoria Justice, and to anybody else, you do not need to come on this show to promote something because we can just have fun. Sure, you could promote it, but we're not that serious. We're not out to get you. We're just here to have a good time. It's fun. It's conversational. You'll end up probably learning something about Judaism.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Can you imagine the publicists? They're pitching it to their client. They're like, it's really fun. They get 100,000 downloads per app, and you might learn something about Judaism.
Do not be alarmed if they try to convert you.
They might try to bathe you in something called a mikvah. Should we get to a speak pipe?
Yeah.
Hell yes. Sound like a wrestler. Hell yes, brother.
God.
I'll see you in the ring. December 29th.
Speak pipe. Yeah.
If you want to ask us a question, get advice, go to speakpipe.com/goodguys. Keep it brief. Brevity is key. We don't want to hear your what are you nutses. They're kind of bad. Here's from Who Knows.
Hey, good guys. I'd love to hear your take on the controversial topic of remote work. Should people be allowed to work from home? Should they be allowed to work, part-time at home, part-time in the office? I want to know what your take is, because obviously you guys do your podcast remote from across the country. And huge argument, especially in Canada, our government's fighting back and forth about letting half the government work from home. So give us your thoughts. Give us your hot takes.
I'd love to hear your thoughts, Josh.
You can't get as much work done from home. Just flat out. There's something called an economics Parkinson's principle, and the idea is that work either expands or contracts to how much time you allow for it, which is why deadlines are important. Because if you give yourself a week, you'll figure out how to make it work in a week. If you give yourself a month, it'll somehow take a month. So I just think, at the very least, some sort of hybrid style needs to happen, because I've seen people who work at home and they're just not putting the time in, even though it can work. But I think you're going to get maximum efficiency if you're putting in some face time at the office.
I think it needs to be age gated, and I think it depends on the industry. I think that in your formative years, if you're in a 9 to 5, you cannot start remote. You can't. I'm sorry. Like, you will be at home doing nothing. But if you spent a decade going into an office and now all of a sudden you're remote and you understand the inner workings of a company, it's a totally different story. But I'm definitely in favor of, like, if you're sub 25 in an office, and then you could, like, graduate to working from home. That said, if you are able to do your job from a computer and from a phone, it doesn't matter if you're sitting in an office or if you're sitting at home where you can make your lunch, where you can walk your dog, where you can just be a happier person. And I've found, having people that work remote, they work later and they work all the time. Like, they end up never being off because they're, to your point, never fully on. Like, when you're in an office, it's 8 hours, but when you leave, you're done. But when you work remote, depending on what you're in, you could end up putting in 75% of the time, all the time. And then the net is more hours. So, tricky question. Tricky. Depends on the industry. Obviously, if you're a mechanic, no working from home.
Right.
But if you're in marketing, you could probably work from home sometimes.
Agreed. Let's hear the next one from Anonymous.
This is a message for the king of Ozempic, Ben Stoffer celebrity. How are you eating normal foods on your Ozempic? I feel like I eat a piece of cheese and I feel like I am in insane pain for hours after. I eat one bite too much. I need to be rolled out like Christmas dinner. It's crazy. So you need to know, how are we surviving off this? Because I don't think I'm losing weight just because of the drug. Like, I think I'm malnourished now, which, I mean, great, because, you know, the jeans fit tighter, fit less tight. But, you know, I just need advice. What are we eating? How are we surviving off this drug? It's great because you have no appetite, but I also, you know, I need sustenance. Any tips are appreciated.
You're on too high a dose. Also, it's working for you. So, like, if you, like, the fact that I'm able to eat normal portions is not a good thing. You're injecting yourself for an appetite suppressant. But it sounds like you're probably taking too much. And there is a such thing as ramping too quickly. Like, I ramped very, very slowly. There was a time where it was really suppressing. Like, days 1 through 5 of this Nutrizepatide, I was at that place. But you can eat through it if you work hard enough. But what you're doing right now is ideal. You're trying to lose weight. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on it. Believe me, you're not malnourished. We don't need nearly as much food as we eat. So as long as, like, the meals that you are eating, you're getting enough of the stuff that you need, then it's a good thing. You're on a weight loss drug. Lose weight.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Agreed.
being on Ozempic and complaining that it's working? That's literally what she was doing.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing, like, about the fact that I'm not hungry?
Yeah. It's really screwing with my Tillamook Tuesdays. I want to take down a block of cheddar.
You inject yourself once a week to be full, and you're pissed that it's working? I've never heard of this.
I can only eat
You're
11
nuts.
Baybells now.
Oh, Baybells. I haven't had a
My
Baybell
kids
in
love
a
'em.
minute. Oh, they're so good.
And the wax. What is that? Is that a
wax.
Gouda?
I don't. It's a Gouda. It's delicious cheese. Delicious.
Delish.
I used to love taking an English muffin, Josh, slicing it in half, putting on a little tomato sauce, cutting the Baybells in half, and throwing them in the toaster.
Yeah, it's great.
Ooh, fantastic. Little mini Gouda pizza.
Yeah, you little fatso, just crushing, crushing a homemade pie. I love it. I used to do that too, but with that horrible cake agent sliced name brand or store brand cheddar cheese over crappy, like, broken tortillas.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I
microwave
I love a
nachos.
microwave nacho. Yes.
Yes.
God. Yes.
That should
You
be
throw
at
a
a
little-
restaurant as an appy. Microwave nachos.
nacho. I love it. You throw down some Tostitos, some Kraft American singles, a little bit of scallions. You're having a party.
Microwave nachos, toaster pizza.
In.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Yes. Reheated rice.
Yes.
It comes in the Chinese food box. It's just stale.
It's only half full. There's remnants of like black bean sauce. Oh, is this a water chestnut? Sorry. So good. Next speak pipe from who knows?
Hey, Josh and Ben. I just wanted to respond to the speak pipe where the lady says that her boyfriend lied about his height and she had to measure the dresser to see how tall he was. And I took a leap of faith and dated a short king. And I just want to encourage everyone else to do the same. Being short kind of does for your personality what being fat does for it. And it's fabulous. I've never laughed harder. I don't even care that I see eye to eye with him. He's such a man. So I just wanted to speak out against the short king slander and encourage everyone to, date shorter. You never know what's in that great little package.
Love it. Date shorter. I'm in.
It's a movement.
Yeah, date shorter. Okay. And I like what she said, that being shorter, you get a chip on your shoulder. So perhaps you're funny.
And better at
Interesting.
fucking.
Yeah, you got quite the hog.
Share clothes.
Sure.
Next one from, I don't know.
Hi, Josh and Ben. This is Brittany from New Jersey. I love you guys. I'm a new listener. I'm obsessed. Keep up the good work. You're like my best friends. So
Love
anyway,
you.
trying to make this fast. I work at a nonprofit. We are small. We're only a staff of 3. And here's the thing. My executive director, great guy. He comes into the office whenever time he comes in, no set schedule. He comes in and he uses the bathroom. Sure, the men's room is down the end of the office and then the women's room is up towards the front. The reason I'm mentioning bathroom is because when he leaves the bathroom, when he goes number 2, the smell envelops the office. And I don't know what to say or not to say. And let me tell you, he said to me that he has no sense of smell anymore. There's one. So he can't smell anything. I'm dying. My assistant director doesn't say anything. So should I just donate an air freshener and then every time he leaves the bathroom, run over there and spray it? Will he notice? I don't know what to do. I just can't keep smelling it anymore. I'm getting sick. What should I do? I love you guys. Thank you.
I love this podcast.
What to do?
Can you imagine? Let me tell you, they're not talking about that on fucking Smartless, okay? Those 3 cannot help you with a question like this. Joe Rogan's talking about fucking UFOs and ayahuasca. We're talking about shitting at your office.
We are, specifically at a nonprofit. And Josh, I just want to say, this is what happens when you work at a nonprofit.
So true.
Like it just, you're going to have that guy that is going to drop a stink bomb. And it just, so look, you've chosen the route. It's probably a relatively cushy job. I never really understood working for a nonprofit because they're not profitable. But in the end of the day, I don't know if I would... Yeah, put something in the bathroom. Put in a little Febreze. One of those air wicks. Get somebody to expense it. You don't need to come out your own money for this guy. Do it when he's
100%.
not there. Definitely don't go and spray out. That's too dramatic. But go in, put in an air wick, air freshener. Otherwise, consider using a different restroom. But that's very unfortunate. I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. Nothing worse. And I'm sure I'm getting a visual. I feel how hot the toilet seat is. Ugh. Yuck.
Listen, I know you're at a nonprofit, but so one kid doesn't eat one night. You take that money, you pool it, right? You take the $20 and you go get, you get a candle, You get a poopery, the spray that you put in. You just got to leave a lot of hints. First, just leave a lit candle in there all day. A stinky one. Go to Bath and Body Works and get an offensive one. Like the strong, And then the poopery spray. I'm trying to think if there's anyone. You can get those Glad things that plug into the wall and they heat up and they're blasting scent. And I think by then someone will get the picture that they're stinking up the joint.
Or I'm now thinking about it, Josh, because you work at a nonprofit, anything goes. Just tell the guy.
Right.
Hey, dude, stop shitting so much. Like,
Not here, sir.
What are you eating? Like, honestly, what you should do is you should ask him about his diet. You should go up to him and you should say, like, why are you eating beef stew for dinner every night?
Right.
Like, by the way, if his bowels are truly this smelly, Josh, then he has gastrointestinal problems.
He could be polypy.
He could be polypy. You never know. So feel for the guy. Give him some AG1. That'll straighten him out.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And this is why I will never, ever share a bathroom with my wife. Because I'm like, listen, thank God, even when we just lived in an apartment, we had 2 bathrooms, a guest and a main. I said, the main is yours. Enjoy the counter space, son. Take the shower. I will be in the guest bathroom, and I will be free farting and doing what I need to do to feel like a skinny mini without your judgment, without fear.
But will you not even, you'll in the middle of the night, if you have to pee, where are you going?
This is assuming we were sleeping in the same room?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to have to use my imagination on this one. Yeah, I will. I'll piddle, but I need to close the door because I got a loud pish stream and it could wake somebody up. So, or I got to sit.
Fair.
Yeah.
Cause if I'm gonna do the nasty, I'll go to the guest bathroom. It's only courteous.
Yeah.
But peeing, I'll go in there. It doesn't matter.
Should we get to our What Are You Nuts?
We should.
Let's do it. Our What Are You Nuts moment of the week are our gripes with people, places, and things, big and small, whatever is currently sticking in your craw. I'll start. I have someone who's on the other side of the political spectrum to me, a buddy of mine, guy, I love him, great guy, but we're nuts, and we go at it all day on text. And I finally said, dude, you need a hobby. He sends me like 10 articles a day. He's constantly writing me all these things. You would think he is like the head of Fox News. I'm like, dog. I said, and then he'll tell me when I say, you need a hobby, he'll go, I don't have time. I work too hard. I'm like, you clearly have time. I said, because when all is said and done, you could be learning French. You could be learning woodworking. You could get in really good shape. But like, do not waste your time on this. Like, okay, you're dunking on me. Like, you will have nothing to show for it when it's all said and done. What are you, nuts?
Nuts. And also just stop foisting your opinions onto other people when they didn't ask for it. I hate it. I don't do it to you. You don't do it to me. It's just, let's talk about fun things. Like, life's stressful enough. That person sounds like he's sick. He's sick. My What Are You Nuts moment, speaking of sick, Josh, I went to unbelievable diner. I didn't get sick there. Delicious diner. Delicious. I'm not going to name drop it because I don't want the lines. It's too good. So good. Madison Diner. So good. Fantastic. I went there, me, Claudia, our friends Matt, Adina, and their 8-month-old Jaden. We're having a beautiful spread. We ordered the silver dollar pancakes. We ordered the omelets. It's a beautiful brunch. Now, Jaden's 8 months old, so he really he hasn't had too much screen time yet, right? And it's the parents' job to choose how much screen time their kid gets, right? We are chatting. All of a sudden, we look to the left. The hostess of the restaurant, Josh, has put a cartoon on her phone and is showing it to the baby. The baby is watching the cartoon. The hostess is holding her Samsung Galaxy at her abdomen, okay, showing this cartoon, and the baby's watching. What are you, nuts? This isn't your kid. Are you crazy? I thought it was insane.
May I retort?
Folks, this episode is 5 stars. Otherwise, what are you, nuts? Make sure to get your Galaxy S25 Ultra now at Samsung.com. It is the best. Just like this show. 5 stars. Otherwise, what are you, nuts? Listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Watch us on YouTube. Share our clips, Instagram and TikTok. Mondays and Thursdays, folks. We will see you next time.
Thank you, Samsung. We love you.